Welcome back to Aikidoflow. Now, a question that comes up a lot, and that is Aikido is absolutely useless. Now, before we get into that, I think we need to answer that question. Let's have a look at this.
Hey, that's my line.
I will be the first one to admit that in certain scenarios, Aikido is absolutely a waste of time. It's useless, okay, do not use it. But I'm gonna roll this over onto Azu. So, first question, is Aikido any good in a competition scenario?
No, not at all. It's not good in that scenario because competition has rules and you have to follow certain rules. And when you talk about competition, what do you mean? Like, because you can't really have an Aikido competition. You have Aikido demonstrations, but if it's a martial arts competition where you could use any martial arts, no, it's not. Anyone who's in a martial arts competition, you need to implement lots of kicks and punches. In that kind of situation, that's what's going to work. Aikido doesn't really have many kicks and punches. We have strikes, we use our fists, we use our elbows, we use our knees, but...
Yeah, but that's not classic Aikido. And in a competition, it would have to be the classic forms of Aikido.
True, okay, well then no, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, and plus in a competition, it's not gonna work at all. And especially the fact that a competition is gonna have rules. If I'm going to be in a competition and I perform, what's the point in me, like for example, if I'm gonna perform a Sankyo here, what's the point in me doing this and not taking it all the way? A Sankyo is designed for me to break something here. But in a competition, I'm not gonna be allowed to do that. So what's the point in me using the technique when I can only use it halfway? So no, it's not going to be good in a martial arts competition at all.
Is Aikido any use if there's any restrictions in terms of you have to do everything in a certain way? You can't, you're not allowed to injure people. Is Aikido any good in that?
Well, some techniques, yes, but then there's a lot of techniques which you're not going to be able to implement at all. You won't be able to implement any of the locks because the majority of Aikido locks can lead to some sort of breakage, bone breakage, which is kind of your aim if you're in a hostile situation where your life is in danger. But in a competition form, you're not going to be allowed to use it. You're not going to want to start breaking people's bones and stuff.
But that brings me to the next question. Okay, if you're like the type of person, okay, that you like to cause injury to people, and that's your thing, is Aikido a good martial art for you? In the classic form?
No, not in the classic form. No. Not in the classic form, because in the classic form it's very kind of, floaty, using the person's energy against them, trying not to harm people. So no, it's not. Not the classic form. There are techniques you can use them in a certain way to hurt people. There's many like that in the more Aikidoflow form. But in the classic form, no.
Okay, so my question to you is so where is it good or useful?
Aikido is good and useful in a street fight where there's no rules, where you're fighting against somebody who is attacking you because you can't really attack an Aikido. You can attack, but there are better better martial arts which you learn to attack.
Well, as Morpheus said to Neo, show me.
Okay, all right. So, for example, we're in a situation where we're in a street fight. Jason's the aggressor. I'm the aggressee. Is there such a word?
Aggressy? I don't think so, but hey.
Making up words out here. So, Jason's the aggressor. He wants to attack me. And my aim in Aikido is always going to be to move in and implement some sort of technique. Now, if there's no rules, I can do whatever I want. So let's say Jason throws a punch, and I can come here, I can do something here, I can do something here, I can take him down. You know, if, for example, he's in a situation where we're arguing, he wants to grab me, and he goes to throw a punch. Now my aim is automatically to either block, to defend, or in fact, that's just an elbow. I'm gonna come into elbow. If he gets there quicker, it's gonna turn to a block. If I get quicker, it's gonna connect, it's gonna be an elbow, but either way, I'm defending myself here. And then from here, I'm maybe gonna do something here. I'm gonna go for this arm here, turn, get myself away from that fist by moving this way, and just pin him here. And I've got a nice lock, nice pin here. I'm locking the wrist here. I'm against the elbow here, it's against my body. So I'm pinning him to me, and I'm rotating this wrist and keeping it firm against my body in order to pin him. You know, that's where Aikido comes into play. I can restrain, I can cause pain as well. So it's not mainly for attacking, it's for mainly if I'm being attacked. There are ways I can attack. You know, if we're standing there and we're, you know, face to face, I can come in and do some sort of clothesline, tenchinagi or something like that. But I don't want to attack unless I have to. And if I want to attack, I'm going to attack in a different way. That's with here, or something like that, with here. I'm going to attack in a different way.
Now, don't forget, okay, anybody that is within the London area, just outside the London area, M25, remember, Azu does do one-to-one training with people. So if that's something that you're interested in, links are in the description. You can contact him directly and be trained by him, okay, personally. In conclusion, okay, yes, there are things that Aikido in certain forms are absolutely useless for, but I mean, to be honest with you, that's kind of an old way of thinking about Aikido. I mean, Azu has kind of said many, many times that this is the evolution of Aikido. We're thinking about Aikido in a new way. I think Steven Seagal changed the way that we view Aikido, and like all the other martial arts have just expanded and developed, and so does Aikido. But in its classical form, there are some things that Aikido is absolutely useless for. Wouldn't you agree with me, Az?
Yeah, definitely. See, the thing is that Aikido is, these days, is useless in the form, the traditional form. But it is very useful in a day-to-day situation, in a street fight, in the more aggressive form, in more Aikidoflow form, the combat form. So to me, it has saved me many a times, not just from being hurt, but also from not having to hurt other people, and saved me in a sense where I didn't end up in a police cell. It saved me countless amount of times. So that's why it's useless in some situations, but in a day-to-day situation, it's the best martial arts for me.
Yeah, me too.
Well, hope that helps. If you enjoyed this, if you like, we've got many more videos on this channel. Have a look at them, and we'll see you next time.
And subscribe.
Indeed.